Okay, dear students, good evening. How are you? As for the syllabus, this is your last class. And even after finishing the class, I will request you people, you have to make a serious revision work. And what suggestion I have given to you, you are supposed to be a thinking creature. So just try to link part to part as I have just imparted you. In the last, I will discuss about the future plan. Just for the question paper, you have given some question to write, and this one, Mr. Ankur, have I given the question?
Yes.
Where is question? Where is question? Yes, this one. After the Second World War. After the Second World War, colonial empire disintegrated, but still colonialism appeared to be a thing of the past. My friends, actually the notes term yesterday I have missed. Even you people have not given a hint towards me. If you may have perceived the question in the right way, then you might have responded in the right way. If mistakenly, even if you have mistakenly perceived the question as it has been written, then you may commit a mistake. Because after the Second World War, colonial empire, possibly hastily I have just left this term not. After the Second World War, colonial empire disintegrated, but still colonialism appeared to be colonialism appeared not to be a thing of the past. मतलब या colonialism refused to be a thing of the past. मतलब कि ये क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछा जा रहा है कि सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर के बाद जो यूरोपियन एम्पायर है उसका एंड हो गया, बट कॉलोनियलिज्म ने अतीत बनने से इनकार कर दिया. कॉलोनियलिज्म रिफ्यूज टू बी द थिंग ऑफ द पास्ट. इसने अतीत बनने से इनकार कर दिया. इट मीन्स कि कॉलोनियलिज्म लिंगर्ड इन सम अदर फॉर्म. माय स्टूडेंट्स, प्लीज गिव मी अ हिंट कि हैव यू रेस्पॉन्डेड टू दिस क्वेश्चन? हैव यू ट्राइड दिस क्वेश्चन? And in what way you have perceived this question? So please give me a hint. If you have perceived as it is, or you have done some sort of mistake in the perception of the question, then for this situation I am accountable. So I will not blame you. But even if the missing not term, if you have perceived the question in the right way, then you can say many thanks from my side. So what is the actual situation?
कुछ बच्चे कह रहे हैं कि उन्होंने राइट वे में
परसीव किया, मतलब कि अतीत होने से इनकार कर दिया. सो अब इन दिस क्वेश्चन, हाउ टू स्टार्ट दिस क्वेश्चन, यू नो. You can write here the thing कि it is true. How to start, मतलब देखो अब स्टार्ट आप लोग भी करना सीख गए. लास्ट में क्वेश्चन लिख रहा हूं. सो अब आप लोग अपने आप में कॉन्फिडेंस लाओ. आप जो भी लिखोगे बिल्कुल करेक्ट होगा. कीप इन योर माइंड. इट इज ट्रू दैट after the Second World War, World War the body of colonial empire decayed but its soul still survived. Okay, its soul still survived. Then you will just make this point clear with a change of paragraph or anyhow. The Second World War gave a serious jolt to the old European empires, British Empire, French Empire and Dutch Empire. And then a fast process of decolonization started. They started to retreat from the colonies in the face of the growing and aggressive nationalism emerging in Asia-African regions or in Asia-African continent. But it is equally true that colonialism didn't die, but it changed its form and started to manifest itself in the form of neo-colonialism, which was clearly visible in economic, economic and cultural fields. Yesterday you have observed this point. Through multinational companies and multinational institutions like IMF, World Bank, GATT, they started to dominate the world economy, and presently through WTO and some other organizations, and culturally, in fact, the cultural dominance remain till today. And here you will mention this point, the European scholars continue to profess that the Europe or the Western world is the same nucleus region where all the important ideas emerge, and peripheral regions like Asia-African nations simply follow them. And not simply that, even they dominated in the Western scholars dominated in our social sciences, like social science subjects like history, political science, anthropology, etc. And indirectly or indirectly this colonialism lingered till today. तो बस इसी तरह से आप खुद ही फैब्रिकेट करो ना, आप जरूर अच्छा आंसर लिखोगे. मतलब इंपायर तो टूटा, मतलब उनको कॉलोनीज को फ्रीडम देना पड़ा, लेकिन डायरेक्ट कंट्रोल के बजाय उन्होंने इनडायरेक्ट कंट्रोल को एस्टेब्लिश करने की कोशिश की. और आज भी कॉलोनियलिज्म का स्पिरिट डाइड डाउन नहीं हुआ. यू हैव टू प्रूव इट. दैट्स ऑल. मिस्टर अंकुर, should I go further?
Yes.
No problem?
Yes.
Now my friends, I have to inform you that now Cold War had to spread to other parts outside of Europe, means in Asia, Africa and Latin America. Actually, what was such compulsion? So up to 1940s, almost Cold War remained confined to Europe. But in 1950s, gradually it started to drift in the direction of Asia, Africa and Latin America. It is for the fact that in order to have the excellence over the other, both the, you can say, superpowers as well as both the military blocs try to exploit the resources or explore the resources from other continents. So it was imperative for them that they had to move to other areas of the world and to make more and more न्यूली इंडिपेंडेंट नेशन टू रैली बिहाइंड देम. मतलब वो चाहते थे कि भाई जो न्यूली इंडिपेंडेंट कंट्रीज हैं उनमें से बहुत सारे कंट्रीज को हम अपने पीछे ले आए, और वो चूंकि दोनों मिलिट्री ब्लॉक चाहते थे कि हम एक दूसरे से ज्यादा बढ़ चढ़ के अपने आप को प्रदर्शित करें, तो उनकी कोशिश यह थी कि हम जितना वर्ल्ड रिसोर्सेस को अपने फेवर में कर सके उतना बढ़िया है, और ज्यादा से ज्यादा जो नेशन से एशियो अफ्रीकन लैटिन अमेरिकन कंट्रीज उसको हम रैली बिहाइंड करें. तो खैर लैटिन अमेरिका में तो बेसिकली दिस कंट्रीज वर कंपेल्ड टू फॉलो यूएसए बिकॉज USA already formed the organization of American states, and virtually USA dominated Latin America right from the time of Monroe Doctrine. You people know. Yes, Mr. Ankur.
आशुतोष पूछ रहे हैं कि इस क्वेश्चन में अटलांटिक चैप्टर मेंशन कर सकते हैं.
हाँ बिल्कुल आशुतोष, you can mention Atlantic. Actually, you will talk about the end of the empire, but the main crux of the question is कि how did this colonialism lingered in the form of neo-colonialism? तो आपका क्वेश्चन का जो मेन डिमांड है वो ये नहीं है कि टूटा कैसे एम्पायर, क्योंकि देखो जब क्वेश्चन आप पढ़ते हो तो पहले इस बात को फाइंड आउट करने की कोशिश करो कि क्वेश्चन का मेन पिलर क्या है। जैसे क्या इस क्वेश्चन का मेन पिलर है कि हमें प्रोसेस ऑफ डीकोलोनाइजेशन पर ज्यादा चर्चा करनी चाहिए, या डीकोलोनाइजेशन कैसे स्टार्ट हुआ उसकी बात पहले करनी चाहिए। तो उसका स्पेस हमारे पास नहीं। हमारा जो राइटिंग अब 150 वर्ड्स में लिखना है, तो थोड़ा सा जो यूरोपियन इंपायर्स है उसके डिसइंटीग्रेशन और डेथ का हल्का सा रेफरेंस देते हुए, एंड देन यू हैव टू डायरेक्टली स्विच ओवर टू कि हाउ डिड कॉलोनियलिज्म लिंगर्ड इन अल्टर्ड फॉर्म, दैट वाज न्यू कॉलोनियलिज्म, एंड हाउ डिड दिस न्यू कॉलोनियलिज्म मैनिफेस्ट इटसेल्फ। तो ये हमारा मेन एजेंडा है इस क्वेश्चन का।
सर पूछ रहे हैं सर, अगर क्वेश्चन में कमेंट की जगह पे एनालाइज इट क्रिटिकली,
It hardly matters. Saf, I am just giving you the practical advice in this regard. Actually, you find the term explain, elaborate, analyze. Comment is slightly a dicey thing, a dicey type of and a slightly complicated directory, because in comment sometime you can move in favor and sometime in against. It depends upon what is your topic statement. But in case of elaborate, analyze, explain, even you can say examine, elucidate. So it is very difficult to make a point of distinction from each other. So you have to mention about almost all the aspects there. And suppose you find the term directly like critically examine, critically analyze, discuss, do you agree, how far do you agree. So these questions are normally the argumentative type of questions. So in these types of questions you are supposed to go in both the directions, and then to measure the pros and cons both, and then you have to take the conclusion. So ये जो दूसरे टाइप का क्वेश्चन है उसका नेचर फिर अलग हो जाता है।
अभिषेक पूछ रहे हैं कि सर हाउ टू राइट अ फायरी इंट्रोडक्शन लाइक सर एंड यूज एप्रोप्रिएट फ्रेजेस।
देखो अभिषेक, प्रैक्टिस मेक्स परफेक्ट, प्रैक्टिस मेक्स परफेक्ट। एक्चुअली व्हाट आई एम जस्ट डिलीवरिंग, सो इट डज नॉट मीन दैट कि यू विल एग्जैक्टली फॉलो दिस लाइन। You people are competent enough because in day-to-day conversation, and you know कि this is अब now almost syllabus part is ended today. So here I am confident about the fact that you people have acquired the workable knowledge and you are sharp enough to deal with the things. अब है कि तुम्हारा जो अपना लैंग्वेज है उसी को देखो। आपको जनरल स्टडीज में तो बहुत ज्यादा लिखना नहीं होता, आप उसको पॉइंट में रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हो। एक जो क्वेश्चन का जो मेन डिमांड है उसको थोड़ा एड्रेस करो। और हम ये चाहते हैं कि जो एग्जामिनर होता है उसके अपने, जैसे हम लोग भी अपने स्टूडेंट्स की कॉपी एग्जामिन करते हैं तो उसे आइडिया होता है कि जो एग्जामिनर होता है उसकी साइकोलॉजी ये होती है कि जिस समय आपका स्टार्टिंग थोड़ा अच्छा सा होता है तो थोड़ा मेंटली ज्यादा अलर्ट होके पढ़ता है। एंड ये बड़ा एक नेचुरल ह्यूमन टेंडेंसी है। आप भी अगर रहोगे एग्जामिनर तो आप वही करोगे। तो थोड़ा हम चाहते हैं कि थोड़ा स्ट्राइकिंग बिगिनिंग हो और मीनिंगफुल आंसर हो। जैसे हमने स्टैंड लिया, अब हमारी पूरा राइटिंग, चूंकि बहुत लोगों का मैं देखता हूं कि ऊपर कुछ और लिखता है, नीचे कॉन्ट्राडिक्ट कर देता है, या खुद वो भी नहीं जान रहा है कि भाई हम क्या एड्रेस कर रहे हैं। उसने क्वेश्चन के ऊपर प्रॉमिस कुछ और किया है, फिर बीच में कुछ और लिखा है, फिर लास्ट जाके कुछ और लिख देता है। तो इस चीज से बचिए, और बाकी आप लोग कॉम्पिटेंट हैं, जो लिख रहे हैं बहुत बढ़िया है।
प्रिया पूछें सर, कैन आई मेंशन फूड हैबिट एंड क्लॉथिंग स्टाइल ऑफ प्रेजेंट डे।
Priya, actually, this is also a form of neo-colonialism. You are just today, you are making the study, even information technology and satellite TV, all are the means of the same thing, you know. And if your Hanuman became Hanuman, and you can say Chacha, actually in our childhood, we were reading the comics. There were certain characters, Chacha Chaudhary, etc. In my childhood I have read. So the Chacha Chaudhary like character has been replaced by Superman. So this is also some type of, you can say, new colonialism. कि हमारे जो आइडियल हैं, हमारे जो कॉमिक्स की बुक है, उस पर भी वेस्टर्न इंपैक्ट है। लेकिन उतना आप स्पेस नहीं ले सकते हो, वहां आपके पास टाइम का और वर्ड का कॉन्स्ट्रेंट है। तो आपको यह ध्यान रखना होगा कि कहीं ऐसा ना हो कि अनइंपॉर्टेंट जो लेस इंपॉर्टेंट आप लिख दो और मोर इंपॉर्टेंट छोड़ दो, बिकॉज यू हैव टू कवर द आंसर इन 150 वर्ड्स। सो बेहतर है कि लिख के देख लो, अगर आपको स्पेस निकल जाता है नो प्रॉब्लम, लेकिन जो इकोनॉमिक एस्पेक्ट है, कल्चरल एस्पेक्ट है, ये सबको तो पहले लिखना पड़ेगा आपको। तो आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग यू, so both the superpowers extended to other continents. अब USA adopted certain measures in this regard. The first measure, it formed some military organizations to counter Russian communism. For example, in 1954 in Southeast Asia, SEATO, Southeast Asian Treaty Organization, and in Iraq, that is called in Baghdad Pact, in West Asia, Baghdad Pact, that is called CENTRO in 1955. So actually this was apart from that, USA you can say established some military base in certain countries like Pakistan, Turkey, Okinawa in Japan, etc. in order to counter communism. And apart from that, and furthermore, USA adopted the specific type of politics. So this specific type of politics is known as dollar diplomacy. Dollar diplomacy, because USA was giving economic aid to the third world countries and expecting them to fall in line with American foreign policy. So this is also some type of controlling the some method of controlling the third world countries, you can say. So this was also going to be an important thing. What happened, Mr. Ankur? So this is the point here. Then you are just even Soviet Russia did some sort of counter work, Soviet Russia was basically, it was a socialist country, so it was guided by their specific ideology. जैसे सोवियत रूस है, वो एक समाजवादी देश है, एक सोशलिस्ट कंट्री है, तो उसकी आइडियोलॉजी है कि भाई हम मतलब एक कम्युनिस्ट आइडियोलॉजी, एक इक्वलिटेरियन उसकी आइडियोलॉजी है। लेकिन बहुत सारे कैपिटलिस्ट कंट्रीज के साथ इसने अपनी दोस्ती बनाई, जैसे इंडिया था और भी कंट्रीज थी, पुटिंग असाइड द मैटर ऑफ आइडियोलॉजी सियरली फॉर स्ट्रेंथेनिंग इट्स पोजीशन इन कोल्ड वॉर vis यूएसए। तो मतलब इसने क्या किया कि भाई अपनी आइडियोलॉजी को ताक पर रख दिया और यूएसए के साथ अपनी बढ़त बनाने के लिए जो सो कॉल्ड कैपिटलिस्ट कंट्रीज है उसको भी अपने साथ लाइन में फॉलो करवाए। सो दिस वाज गोइंग टू बी एन इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट, Mr. Ankur, is the AC working? Yes. Well, okay. So this is the point here. Ab now, when both the superpowers, and USA has given some specific theory to counter communism. Here I have to inform you, that is, you can say Eisenhower doctrine for West Asia after Suez Canal crisis, which I will discuss with you, on domino theory after the conflict of Vietnam. It has given a domino theory. So in this way you can say it has given a domino theory. So I will discuss with you. So in this way, now I have to discuss about the four major crises. About the one major crisis, that is called Suez Canal crisis. So UPSC has already asked you the question in 2014 about Suez Canal crisis, and it was surprisingly the same crisis and same question, same matlab from same topic. The question has been placed in both the papers, optional paper and GS paper both, the same topic, Suez Canal crisis in 2014. It is merely a coincidence, So first of all, I have to observe this case of Korea. My students, in the south of China, you can say this was the region of Korea. When Japan started to expand its power and prestige in Asia Pacific region, so Japan occupied Korea much earlier, possibly I think in 1895, etc. But after it lost the Second World War and after the bombardment of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, when Japan surrendered on 15th of August, then it evacuated all the occupied regions in Asia Pacific region. So it evacuated, Korea also. So from northern side of Korea, it was Soviet Russia which entered, and from southern side, it was USA, Britain and France that entered. And actually, Stalin was having the old habit of occupying the region and then to install there a communist government. So USA, Britain and France were very restless, and they were requesting Soviet Russia and Stalin to unify both the regions and to conduct the elections there. But he was not ready for this situation, and arbitrarily in northern Korea side, Stalin in northern part of Korea installed a socialist or communist government under Kim Il-jong. That was the communist leader. So now USA was not, and USA and these Western powers were not having any option, but they just, rest of the part was the region of southern Korea. So USA initiated here a democratic elections under the supervision of UNO. So UNO conducted here a democratic elections in southern part of Korea, and then an elected democratic government was installed in South Korea. मतलब साउथ कोरिया में यूएसए ने यूएनओ के तत्वाधान में एक डेमोक्रेटिक गवर्नमेंट, एक कैपिटलिस्ट गवर्नमेंट एस्टेब्लिश करवा दिया. उधर नॉर्थ कोरिया को सोवियत रशिया ने ऑक्युपाई कर लिया. अब यूएसए हैज ऑलरेडी, यू कैन से, deployed there an army in South Korea, and this army had been living there and had been, you can say, existing in the area from 1948 itself. So after the installation of, and you can say after installing a democratic government in South Korea, then USA realized that there is no use of, you can say, making the American soldiers stay here any longer. So better to evacuate the American army, and American army should return to their own continent. So that's why USA decided to withdraw its army in November 1949. Surprisingly, in early 1950, in June 1949. In June 1949, this army was withdrawn, and up to November 1949, North Korea, with the support of 60 Russian tanks, although Russian weapons, but with complete connivance with China, because at that time Stalin didn't favor the invasion on South Korea. It was the brainchild of Mao Zedong of China, and on certain issues Stalin and Mao Zedong, they were not having the identical view. For example, on this issue of Korea. And then this North Korea invaded South Korea and conquered it. अब बताइए, नॉर्थ कोरिया ने साउथ कोरिया को जब कंकर कर लिया तो यूएसए के तो पैर तले जमीन खिसक गई. यूएसए was shocked कि what happened. So USA immediately brought the matter to UNO. In UNO there was a military clause as well. So a joint command was formed. 16 countries participated in the command, and this command decided to invade Korea and to release South Korea from the clutch of North Korea. मतलब that a military option was chosen. Whenever USA did so, and the army was dispatched under the command of USA, that was the military general of USA, his name was MacArthur. So MacArthur led this army. He was an out and out imperialist, So you may be a bit surprised that Soviet Union was already enjoying the veto power. So how did Soviet Union allow USA and Western party to make such a proposal of joint command accepted in UNO, and why did not Soviet Russia use its veto against the proposal? मैंने आपको लगेगा भाई सोवियत रशिया के पास तो वीटो पावर था, उसको वीटो कर देता, बट सोवियत रशिया वाज कॉट अनअवेयर्स. वो बड़े उलझन में फंस गया. एक्चुअली my students, I have told you earlier कि when Chinese Republic was formed in 1949, and Taiwan was, you can say, another China that was protected by USA, and UNO was working under the influence of USA. So under the influence of USA, UNO didn't give the membership of UNO nor the membership of Security Council with veto power to Chinese Republic under Mao Zedong, but still the position in UNO was enjoyed by the same Taiwan, which was a tiny state. Even Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, while leading the third world countries, continued to advocate for, plead for the membership of Chinese Republic, and USSR was too much upset due to this sort of discrimination done to China. So USSR at that time take the oath and take the pledge, माने उसने USSR ने धोखे से प्रण ले लिया, माने डिसीजन ले लिया कि जब तक चाइनीज रिपब्लिक को यूएनओ में सीट नहीं मिलेगा, सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल में सीट नहीं मिलेगा, तब तक हमारा रिप्रेजेंटेटिव यूएनओ में नहीं बैठेगा. अब द सेम हैपेंड, because Russian representative was absent. In the meantime, UNO brought the proposal hastily and get it accepted hastily when Russia came to know that this was going in the mind of USA. So Russian representative rushed to the site that we have to reach in time and veto the proposal, but it was too late. Up to this period, the proposal was already accepted by 4 other members, because Chinese Republic was not at that time a member, Taiwan was a member, so 4 other members, and whole the proposal was dispatched, so now it was too late for USSR. Then MacArthur started the operation, that is true. And this South Korea was liberated from the clutch of North Korea. So initially this army got a tremendous success. But after that, MacArthur started to play a very villainous role. After liberating this South Korea, then this you can say, this joint army or joint command moved to North Korea and started to conquer North Korea. So whole world was stunned how the UNO can contravene its own rule and being a party to invasion. So Trygve Lie was at that time, you can say, Secretary General, and Trygve Lie was from Sweden. So even his face was tarnished, he was not a neutral man. So in this way, जब नॉर्थ कोरिया में जब आर्मी जब घुसने लगी और ज्वाइंट कमांड वाज मूविंग टू नॉर्थ कोरिया एंड स्टार्टेड टू कंकर नॉर्थ कोरिया, सो उस एट दैट टाइम यू कैन से he was, now USA was going to be restless. Sorry, not USA, China was going to be restless. And China, Mao Zedong at that time was looking towards India, because Jawaharlal Nehru was just like the elder brother to Mao Zedong at that time. And this was the honeymoon days between China and India at that time. So Mao Zedong was looking towards Jawaharlal Nehru. Now we cannot tolerate it, we will invade. Nehru was just, no, please have patience. But China lost its patience, and 2 lakh Chinese, while crossing the Yalu River, invaded this army of MacArthur, and you can say defeated and threw this army from North Korea and threw them to South Korea again. So it was humiliating for USA, because practically USA was defeated by Chinese army and its face was tarnished. So in the low key, this conflict continued up to 1953, but finally you can say that there was some sort of ceasefire after some time. तो ये जो पूरा जो कोरिया का ऑपरेशन हुआ, उसने यूएनओ का भी फेस टार्निश किया, यूएसए का भी किया. बट देयर, माय स्टूडेंट्स, देयर इज ए क्वेश्चन, यू कैन, आई कैन गिव यू द क्वेश्चन कि इन फैक्ट it was Korean War which globalized this Cold War. Because earlier the Britain and some other Western countries were persuading USA that Russia was quite aggressive and communism is aggressive. So we need to have a worldwide reach to contain communism and to counter communism. But USA was not going to be convinced earlier. But after this South Korea episode, after this Korean episode, then USA came to realize that yes, communism is aggressive and it need a concerted effort to counter communism. तो अब इसके बाद उसने अपनी पूरी स्ट्रेटेजी बनाई और पूरी कोल्ड वॉर को यूएसए ने ग्लोबलाइज कर दिया. So this is the outcome of Korean crisis. Please give a hint to Mr. Ankur. Are you clear?
Yes.
Okay, are you clear? The second one crisis, Suez Canal crisis. My students, what is the phenomena of Suez Canal? I have to make you clear. The phenomena of Suez Canal is that, my student, actually, by the side of Egypt there is Suez Canal, and Egypt remained to be a British colony for a long time. After long effort, Jaglul Pasha, he was at the time of the First World War. Actually, I have not to carry you to the story, so you can say carry you in the past, what happened, but I am giving you certain glimpses. I am just giving you some glimpse of the certain part of history. After the First World War, Egypt, among the colonies, Egypt was the first one which started to demand complete freedom. And Jaglul Pasha, he was an Egyptian leader. So he tried at his best, but he was arrested, and then the movement started in Egypt. So Egypt remained to be disturbed. Even before the Second World War, as Italy invaded Ethiopia and even Egypt, so in order to protect Egypt, the USA virtually, colonized Egypt again at the time of the Second World War. तो मैं आपको बताना चाहूं कि इजिप्ट में यूएसए का बहुत मेजर इंटरेस्ट था सुएज कैनाल, उससे उसको इनकम आता था, बिकॉज यूएसए वाज एंजॉयिंग द लीज ऑफ सुएज कैनाल. फाइनली व्हेन कर्नल नासिर became the head of Egypt, मतलब you can say dictator as well as president. The pseudo president, basically the dictator, military dictator. So he came to power. So in 1954, finally he signed a deal with Britain, and the Britain had to withdraw from Egypt and even withdrew its army from Suez Canal, but lease of Suez Canal was still enjoyed by Britain. So this was the case. Anyway, this was in 1954, Britain withdrew from there. But my students, actually USA became dominant in West Asia and Arabian region after this Suez Canal crisis, But earlier than Suez Canal crisis, here I have to inform you, it was not Britain which was a dominant power. Who was the dominant power at that time? Do you know? USA. Britain. USA was not a dominant power. It was Britain which was a dominant power. It was the whole area was under the control of Britain. Its colonies, directly or indirectly, and area of influence, it was the British area of influence. So USA at that time, who was leading the Cold War, so just told Britain, please make a contact with Egypt, because in Arabian region, Egypt is the largest country. It is strategically more important for Cold War situation. So better to befriend Egypt. तो ब्रिटेन को कहा कि भाई इजिप्ट को लाइए अपने कैंप में. ब्रिटेन जाकर इजिप्ट को थोड़ा सा मतलब उसे फ्रेंडली हेलो हाय करना शुरू किया इजिप्ट को, कर्नल नासिर को. बट कर्नल नासिर वाज सो ऑफेंडेड with the colonial behavior of the Western powers कि he didn't take any interest into the British proposal. So Britain was offended, and then Britain, मतलब in retaliation, Britain moved towards Iraq, and Iraq was a traditional rival to Egypt. And then Britain, while getting associated with Iraq, Iran, Turkey and Pakistan, even Pakistan was there. So Britain, Iraq, Iran, Turkey and Pakistan all together formed an organization that is called Baghdad Pact. Baghdad Pact in 1955. When the Baghdad Pact, it was a military bloc, So it created tremendous psychological pressure over Colonel Nasir because Iraq was his traditional rival. So Colonel Nasir, in order to counter this situation, he imported some weapons from Czechoslovakia, which was a communist country. तो कर्नल नासिर ने क्या किया कि कुछ अब अपना वेपन्स को इंपोर्ट करना शुरू कर दिया चेकोस्लोवाकिया से, जो एक कम्युनिस्ट कंट्री था। तब यूएसए को फिर बुरा लगा। यूएसए ने फिर ब्रिटेन को कहा कि देखिए ये ठीक नहीं है, इजिप्ट हाथ से निकल जाए और रशिया के इंपैक्ट में आ जाए, ये ठीक नहीं है, आप फिर उसको प्यार मोहब्बत से लाइए अपने कैंप में। सो एज यूएसए वंस अगेन you can say pressurize Britain to strike some deal with Colonel Nasir. So Britain just came to see Colonel Nasir with a mouth-watering proposal. This mouth-watering proposal was that कि on your river Nile, जो नील रिवर कहते हो, river Nile, an Aswan dam had to be built with British and American capital. It was really a mouth-watering proposal, and Colonel Nasir accepted this. Then the construction of dam started. Some basic investment is always done by the host country. So Colonel Nasir did some basic investment and construction work started. But once the construction was going on, in the meantime, Colonel Nasir gave recognition to a communist country, China, in 1956. तो कर्नल नासिर ने क्या किया कि चाइना को जो कम्युनिस्ट कंट्री था, मतलब आप तो जानते हो मार्क्सिस्ट कंट्री माओ सेतुंग के, उसको इसने रिकॉग्निशन दे दिया कर्नल नासिर ने। तो जब कर्नल नासिर ने रिकॉग्निशन दिया तो अब नाउ यूएसए वाज गोइंग टू बी सॉरी नॉट यूएसए, ब्रिटेन वाज गोइंग टू बी क्वाइट ऑफेंडेड कि दिस इज यू कैन से अनरिलायबल फेलो, व्हाट एवर ऑब्लिगेशंस यू आर डूइंग टू हिम, ही विल नेवर will be obliged. So better to punish him. So he declared that now USA and Britain is withdrawing their aid on Aswan Dam. Even no money will be given to you. So Colonel Nasir turned to be nervous कि we have done the best work, invested the initial capital of how to build the dam. So Colonel Nasir nationalized Suez Canal on the basis that as Egypt in the dire need of money for construction of Aswan Dam, so in order to compensate the loss from British and American withdrawal, we have to nationalize this Suez Canal. So Britain was going to be excessively offended, and Britain along with France and Israel invaded Egypt in 1956. So that is known as Suez Canal crisis in history. Now we can say once the Egypt was invaded by Britain, France and Israel, so Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru became active while leading the third world countries, and he denounced it vehemently. And Soviet Russia became aggressive, and Soviet Russia gave a warning to Britain, France and Israel, withdraw from the region, otherwise we cannot tolerate. But my friend, surprising thing is that it is for the first time in history, even USA denounced this invasion. Eisenhower was president. Eisenhower finished his one tenure, and for the second tenure he was just on the verge of fighting an election. And American people were offended at this invasion, and they were taking the measure adopted by Britain and France as a harsh measure to Egypt. So in order to placate the American public opinion, Eisenhower started to denounce this invasion, and it was the time Eisenhower came near to Jawaharlal Nehru also. He made a telephonic, he made an appeal to Jawaharlal Nehru कि Pandit Nehru, you have to intervene into the matter and do something. So Jawaharlal Nehru at that time worked as an interlocutor in the Western world. And the matter was, you can say quickly brought to UNO. But Britain and France were the veto enjoying power, So as the veto enjoying power, so both vetoed the proposal. But my students, it was the General Assembly, because except 5 votes, all the votes were cast against this invasion. So this General Assembly denounced this proposal by 3/4 majority. So finally Britain and France had to be humiliated and they had to withdraw from the region with excessive humiliation. बड़े बेआबरू होकर ते कूचे से हम निकले, वही बात हुई. It was having a shattering impact on international politics, because the whole of the, you can say, the British dominance in West Asia Arabia region declined sharply after this incident, and the Britain had to withdraw from the Suez Canal, and even it has to withdraw its dominance from this region, and a power vacuum was created there. So USA filled up the power vacuum, and USA benefited very tactfully from the British withdrawal from the region, and USA just extended its influence. मतलब अब USA उस एरिया में आ गया, ब्रिटेन का के दिन समाप्त हो गए एंड यूएसए का डोमिनेंस एस्टेब्लिश हो गया. उसी समय आइजनहावर डॉक्ट्रिन आइजनहावर ने दिया सोवियत रशिया के अगेंस्ट में कि if there would be any you can say aggression from the side of communism, then USA had to counter it. तो वो आइजनहावर डॉक्ट्रिन बोलते हैं. लेकिन जो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है वह है ब्रिटिश डोमिनेंस का एंड एंड अमेरिकन डोमिनेंस का एस्टेब्लिश होना. अब देखो, दिस इज द क्वेश्चन इन 2014. व्हाट वर द इवेंट्स दैट लेड टू द स्वेज क्राइसिस in 1956? How did it deal a final blow to Britain's self image as a world power? मतलब कैसे उसका सेल्फ इमेज को, देखो कितने कम वर्ड में हमने इसको मैनेज किया है. Suez Canal crisis was the extension of Cold War politics in Middle East. During the Cold War period, both the blocs tried to rally the maximum number of client nations behind them. It was in this context that the Western Bloc under USA and Britain tried to win Egypt to its side. Therefore, Egypt was given a very mouth-watering proposal in the form of a very favorable economic assistance package for construction of Aswan Dam on the river Nile. Although Gamal Abdel Nasser, that was the name, welcomed the proposal, but he was not ready to restructure his foreign policy in favor of Western Bloc. To the frustration of the Western powers, he extended recognition to a communist country, China. Such a gesture on the part of Egypt upset the Western Bloc so much so that Britain made an announcement of withholding the amount of economic assistance on Aswan Dam. As a countermeasure, Egyptian President Nasser terminated British lease on Suez Canal and nationalized Suez Canal on the plea that he would mobilize the required resources to carry forward with the construction of project. In retaliation, Britain and France, in association with Israel, invaded Egypt. It culminated in the so-called Suez Canal crisis. Under severe pressure of world public opinion and the verdict of UNO, Britain had to withdraw from the Suez Canal. This proved to be a landmark event in international politics. Britain already had faced the situation of economic decline in post-Second World War era. Then Suez Canal crisis put a death knell to its superpower status. Once a power vacuum was created due to the decline of British power in West Asia, it was quickly filled up by the USA. Therefore, USA emerged to be the net gainer at the loss of Britain. अब Mr. Ankur asked my students, are they clear about this Suez Canal crisis? My students, please give a hint to Mr. Ankur. Please be fast. We are having dearth of time.
Yes.
Okay है? क्या? Yes, be fast.
Mihai question: USA consequently request Britain to acquire Egypt into its camp. Then why? Question.
हाँ, मतलब नेहा तुम्हारा क्वेश्चन होगा कि भाई जब यूएसए ने ब्रिटेन को परसुएट किया, ब्रिटेन को पहले इन्फ्लुएंस किया कि आप जाओ इजिप्ट को लेके अपने कैंप में आओ, और जब ब्रिटेन ने ऐसा किया तो क्यों ब्रिटेन को से वो नाराज हो गया, ये आपके मन में क्वेश्चन होगा। देखो, उसको लगा कि ब्रिटेन ने और भी काम खराब कर दिया। एक्चुअली ब्रिटेन हैड टू परसुएड इजिप्ट। व्हाई ब्रिटेन हैज यूज्ड द मस्कुलर पावर अगेंस्ट इजिप्ट, यू नो, सो इट हैज ऑलमोस्ट मतलब मेड इजिप्ट डाइग्रेस फ्रॉम इट्स पाथ फर्दर मोर। तो मतलब कि इसने तो नुकसान कर दिया। मतलब आप किसी को अच्छे काम के लिए सुपुर्द करिए और बुरा काम करके आ जाए, तो कुछ वही तरह की बात है।
रितु पढ़ना पूछें कि when India reclaimed Goa, Egypt didn't allow Portugal to come through Suez Canal. Is it because of Jawaharlal Nehru?
No, this is a very unique question. What one? Who?
रितु पढ़ना.
रितु पढ़ना, हाँ रितु पढ़ना, प्लीज रितु.
When India reclaimed Goa,
हाँ, reclaimed Goa in 1961, yes.
Egypt didn't allow Portugal to come through Suez Canal. Is it because of Jawaharlal Nehru?
Okay, yes, because Egypt was in good humor, Jawaharlal Nehru, and particularly in 1956 in Suez Canal crisis, Jawaharlal Nehru did a lot for Colonel Nasir in Egypt. So Colonel Nasir was highly obliged by Jawaharlal Nehru.
Bhavna question: did USA become part of Baghdad Pact after Britain withdrawal from Arabian region?
No. USA never became the part of Baghdad Pact or SEATO.
Deepak,
Which was simply the part of NATO and presently Quad.
Deepak question is, sir, who got independence first? Because in study material it is Philippines 1946.
Yes, 1946. When Philippines, that was a formal, but in real sense it didn't get freedom.
गांधी जी पूछे सर, रशिया अपने इन्फ्लुएंस बढ़ाने के लिए इंडिया को हेल्प किया अगेंस्ट यूएसए बैटलशिप?
हाँ, वो देखो, इंटरनेशनल रिलेशन में कोई व्यक्तिगत दोस्ती थोड़ी होती है। गांधी जी जो इंटरनेशनल रिलेशन होता है वो एक तरह से वॉर ऑफ इंटरेस्ट होता है कि आप और हमारा जो रिलेशनशिप बनता है तो जब दोनों के इंटरेस्ट होते हैं तो ऑब्वियसली कैसे रशिया को बहुत फायदा था इंडिया से। पूरा रशिया ने इंडिया के कारण पूरा नॉन अलाइंड मूवमेंट, विपिन चंद्रा भी लिखते हैं कि प्रो रशियन बना रहा है इंडिया के इन्फ्लुएंस के कारण। तो इससे बहुत ज्यादा फायदा था उसका। दूसरी बात, एक फायदा और भी तो था, चाइना उसका राइवल था, रशिया का हो गया था बाद में, इन स्पाइट ऑफ बीइंग ए कम्युनिस्ट कंट्री। और इंडिया का रशिया से फ्रेंडशिप होने से चाइना थोड़ा रशिया से और भी डरता था कि भाई इंडिया भी उसके साथ है, तो फायदा था रशिया को इंडिया से।
ये क्वेश्चन, नेशनलाइजेशन ऑफ स्वेज कैनाल का मतलब क्या है?
नेशनलाइजेशन का मतलब कि हमने अपना बना लिया, ब्रिटेन का नहीं है, अब वो इजिप्ट का हो गया।
भावना पूछे, इट मींस सर स्वेज कैनाल क्राइसिस बेनिफिटेड यूएसए फॉर द इंप्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ इट्स पावर।
बेनिफिटेड द यूएसए फॉर इंप्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ द पावर मींस
It means, sir, Suez Canal crisis
Yeah.
benefited USA for the implementation of its power.
Yeah. Benefited, and USA tactfully managed the situation, or USA replaced Britain as the global power after the Suez Canal crisis.
Sakshi पूछे, what is SEATO and CETO?
SEATO is the Southeast Treaty Organization. I'll discuss about SEATO abhi presently. SEATO was created in 1954 by Eisenhower, American president, in order to counter communism in Vietnam. Actually, I have to deal with Vietnam crisis, and then I have to deal with one more crisis, you can say. This crisis is Cuba Missile Crisis. The four crises I have to discuss with you.
Karin पूछे, who gave lease to Suez Canal to UK?
Egypt itself. Egypt actually, the Suez Canal was having a history, you know. Suez Canal was built finally and it was opened in 1969 with French capital, and it was the French engineer who built it. And at that time, 44% capital was invested by Egyptian government of Ismail Pasha and 56% by France. So Britain firstly purchased 44% from Egypt and then 56% from France. So Britain captured Suez Canal up to 1904, when the beginning of 20th century. So Britain was having the capital of Egypt, capital investment. So on this basis, it has taken the lead from Egypt. I have to run it even after freedom, but it was nationalized, you know.
Gaurav question is why not USA and USSR confront to each other on battlegrounds ever?
It was due to the nuclear bomb and hydrogen bomb. It is called MAD, concept of MAD, mutually assured destruction. Both were having the power of mutually assured destruction. That's why they didn't.
Mihai पूछ रहे हैं सर सेंटो and Baghdad is same.
Same. Centro and Baghdad pact is same. Should I go further, Mr. Ankur?
Yes.
My students, up now I have to carry you to Vietnam crisis. What is Vietnam crisis? I have to make you clear. Vietnam crisis is basically in the studies class I have told you, Ho Chi Minh formed a republic in north and one pro-French government in South India, South Vietnam, and then UNO divided Vietnam on the basis of 17 parallel, I have told you. But there was a provision that after 2 years, the elections would be conducted in Vietnam and the Vietnam would be reunified. But it didn't happen. Because at that time, UNO was working under the influence of USA and UNO didn't take interest into such a strong measure. So finally, Ho Chi Minh became restless and impatient, so he started to send its own communist volunteers into southern Vietnam gradually and you can say secretly. So these communist volunteers who were gradually, you can say, moving in the guise of peasants in southern Vietnam, so they were known as Viet Cong. Viet Cong means Vietnamese Communist Party. So gradually you can say a large number of communists gathered there from North Vietnam and they started to create a strong base among peasants. So when USA came to know about that, so USA was at that time was quite obsessed with the, you can say, spread of communism. So Eisenhower was American president. He was restless in 1953. He became the president. So in 1954, he quickly formed a military organization in Southeast Asia, SEATO, Southeast Asian Treaty Organization, and then he propounded a doctrine. The doctrine was that is called domino theory. He tried to establish that in fact in Southeast Asia the situation is quite volatile. So if communism engulfs one domino, so it will quickly spread to other domino. मतलब इसका कहना था कि साउथ ईस्ट एशिया का जो कंडीशन है वो इतना गर्म है, इतना मतलब एक्टिव है कि अगर किसी एक कंट्री में अगर कम्युनिज्म आएगा तो वो दूसरे कंट्री में क्विकली फैल जाएगा, क्विकली, उसको रोका नहीं जा सकता है. तो यही उसने कहा, भाई यही जो थियरी है वही कहा. तो एंड देन Eisenhower sent an American army in Vietnam. So America definitely committed a major mistake here, because there was no state actor to fight against. There was non-state actor, means Viet Cong in the guise of peasants. So what American soldiers could do in South Vietnam? They were quite, you can say, helpless for doing something. And the Viet Cong, they were the well-trained communist volunteers. They were having some sort of sword or you can say dagger in their waist. मतलब एक चाकू रखते थे बहुत बड़ा तलवार टाइप का और कमर के पास. And whenever they used to find American soldiers alone, they used to cut their throat. So there were the heavy casualties of American soldiers. Then Eisenhower was replaced by John F. Kennedy. John F. Kennedy sent some more army there. He committed second one mistake, And but American army was helpless there, and America was involved into an unending war. Then after John F. Kennedy, it was Lyndon Johnson. So Lyndon Johnson just started to carry this war further. but out of nervousness, because he was not having any means ki how to suppress the movement, because the Viet Cong were, it was not possible to identify Viet Cong ki who are the actual Viet Cong ki, because they were mixed with peasants in South Vietnam. So you can see American army and American leadership became so nervous that it started to throw bomb indiscriminately on the people, napalm bomb. So there were the heavy casualties of even women, kids, etc. So as the Americans are always trying to project themselves as the protector of human rights, American अपने आप को मानव अधिकार का संरक्षक मानते हैं. So slogan shouting started in America itself कि Lyndon Johnson go away, how many kids you killed today. मतलब ए लिंडन जॉनसन तुम जाओ, आज कितने बच्चों को तुमने वियतनाम में मारा है. So Lyndon Johnson was after so disheartened after that कि after finishing one tenure and one stint, he even didn't dare to fight the elections again to catch up the second stint, you know. So he simply took retirement. And then finally came Nixon. So Nixon came to realize that ki no, Vietnam, and to get involved into Vietnam was definitely a major mistake on the part of the foreign policy of USA. So now he started to find out some means ki how to withdraw from Vietnam smoothly, and it was not possible without some cooperation from Soviet Russia and China. So he opened talks with Soviet Russia and China and tried to withdraw from Vietnam. And finally, as USA did in Afghanistan recently, you are the eyewitness, Joe Biden, Ashraf Ghani was left. So USA in 1973, the USA withdrew its army on the excuse कि in place of keeping American army there, we have to strengthen the South Vietnamese government so much so कि South Vietnam government itself countered the North Vietnam. मतलब कहा कि देखिए, हम अपनी आर्मी रखने के बजाय हम साउथ वियतनाम को इतना पावरफुल बना देते हैं कि वो नॉर्थ वियतनाम को अपने स्तर से वो नॉर्थ वियतनाम से काउंटर कर लेगा. म्हणजे यही वर्जन, whenever USA was withdrawing from Afghanistan, Ashraf Ghani was the president, and the same version was given by Joe Biden. मतलब whenever I was at that time watching TV, so I came to realize कि it appears that कि history repeats itself. माने हिस्ट्री अपने आप को दोहरा रहा है. And finally you can say, so in this way and on this excuse, USA withdrew in 1973, and in 1975 northern Vietnam with full aggressive posture, just northern Vietnam extended to southern Vietnam and integrated the whole region. And my friends, actually go to YouTube and try to find out कि Saigon was the capital of southern Vietnam. If you people are the eyewitness कि what happened in Afghanistan, because it happened during your era. So the same happened at that time in Vietnam. From Saigon, American embassies, American you can say the officers from American embassies, while catching up an helicopter and fled from the rooftop of Saigon when the North Vietnamese tank entered into Saigon in order to save themselves. मतलब एक तरह से अमेरिकन वहां से भाग कर निकले जैसे अफगानिस्तान से आए. So this happened. It was quite humiliating for USA. It was just a Waterloo. What was the Waterloo for Napoleon? So it is supposed to be the Waterloo for USA. And it was really pathetic if 58,000 American soldiers sacrificed their life for, you can say, countering in order to protect a capitalist model in Vietnam. But finally, the same Vietnam was captured by the communist government. तो ये है वियतनाम क्राइसिस. मिस्टर अंकुर आस्क माय स्टूडेंट्स कि आर दे क्लियर?
Yes.
Are you clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now अच्छा इस हाँ यश
My question is, when I question US government to oppose communist expansion in Europe and Asia.
Yeah. What is the question? Question is not clear. Who? Vinay?
When
What question? Once again, repeat.
the US government to oppose communist expansion in Europe and Asia.
Communist expansion in Europe and Asia. Yes, yes. No problem.
Okay.
Cuba missile crisis. Actually, my friends, what happened in Cuba? Cuba is just on the map. You have to find out. This is Cuba. Just that is the Miami in USA, and just 90 miles away from USA. In 1998, Cuba was earlier, you can say, a Spanish colony. So Cuba was liberated by USA, and practically it became a semi-colony of USA. So the Cuban government was the pro-American government, and in Cuba there was the heavy American investment. But unfortunately for USA, in 1959, there was a guerrilla leader. His name was Fidel Castro. So it was guerrilla leader Fidel Castro who captured power in Havana, means the capital of Cuba. Although a tiny country it was. And Fidel Castro was a communist sympathizer. So he was having an anti-USA stance, and he started to nationalize the industries which were being run by American capital. तो पावर में आने के बाद ही जहां जहां अमेरिकन कैपिटल लगा हुआ था जिस सब इंडस्ट्रीज में, व्हाट इज टेम्परेचर, सो जहां जहां अमेरिकन कैपिटल लगा हुआ था उसने उसको नेशनलाइज करना शुरू किया. ही स्टार्टेड टू नेशनलाइज इट. सो यूएसए वाज ऑफेंडेड एंड यूएसए ट्राइड टू पनिश क्यूबा. So first of all, it made a major curtailment in the import from Cuba to give an economic punishment, but it didn't move and it didn't affect Fidel Castro. Then at Pig Island, even USA just tried to assassinate him. मतलब CIA, the secret agency of USA, tried to assassinate him, but he was saved. After that, Fidel Castro came to realize that he has picked up a war and picked up a quarrel with a superpower. So it needed some other power to counter it. So idea came to his mind कि we have to just extend our friendly hand to USSR. तो क्या किया कि फिडेल कास्ट्रो ने तुरंत USSR के को फ्रेंडशिप का हाथ बढ़ाया. उस समय the Russian president was who? He was Khrushchev. So Khrushchev found it a God-sent opportunity. A God-sent opportunity because, USA was having a control on Europe, and USA was standing there in the neighborhood of Russia, because the American missiles were installed in, Turkey. It was in neighborhood of Russia, even in West Germany, etc. So USA was having a presence to USSR in the very near region to USSR, but USSR was not having any you can say land, any foot on American continent. When this Colonel then Fidel Castro extended the friendship to USSR, so USSR just tried to appropriate this opportunity in his favor. So Khrushchev quickly, and you can say warmly reciprocated, and then Russia installed here some medium range nuclear missile in Cuba. तो USSR ने वहां पर क्यूबा में एक मीडियम रेंज न्यूक्लियर मिसाइल को इंस्टॉल कर दिया, एंड इट वाज डन सीक्रेटली फ्रॉम यूएसए. बट यूएसए वाज ऑलवेज हैविंग, यू कैन से, USA was always conscious, and the USA secret agencies and the secret aircrafts, so that was, so some American aircraft was just moving nearby Cuba, So it took some picture and photographs of this intermediate range missile, and the photographs were presented to the External Affairs Department first, and then External Affairs Department directly informed President John F. Kennedy. So John F. Kennedy was offended and upset. मतलब जिस समय वो फोटोग्राफ रखा कि भाई क्यूबा में इंटरमीडिएट रेंज का एक न्यूक्लियर मिसाइल्स वहां लगाए गए हैं रशिया के द्वारा, तो जॉन एफ कैनेडी बहुत रेस्टलेस हुआ, क्योंकि वो इस बात को अमेरिकन डाइजेस्ट ही नहीं कर सकते थे कि उसके अमेरिका के नेबरहुड में कोई दूसरा पावर आ जाए। अभी देखो, अभी चाइना में तुम लोग न्यूज में पढ़ते होगे, तो चाइना अभी होंडुरास में पहुंच गया है, एंड चाइना क्यूबा से फ्रेंडशिप कर रहा है फिर, और क्यूबा में वो कुछ खास टेक्नोलॉजी भेज रहा है, एंड इट इज मतलब अमेरिका इज वंस अगेन वरीड, यू नो। तो द सेम हैपेंस इन दिस केस। तो जॉन एफ कैनेडी रिवाइव्ड द सो कॉल्ड मुंडो डॉक्ट्रिन अगेन, कि क्यूबा is the backyard of USA, and if any outside power is intervening into the internal matter of Cuba, then it is tantamount to intervening into the internal matter of USA. And then USA sent an ultimatum to USSR कि withdraw your nuclear missiles from Cuba. USSR retorted, Khrushchev, कि not to speak of withdrawing the old missiles, we are going to install the fresh missile in Cuba. And then USSR, while putting nuclear missiles on ships, it moved to Atlantic Ocean from Mediterranean Sea. And American ships full of nuclear weapons. So they you can say they developed a barricade around Cuba and gave a challenge to USSR कि we not allow to treat the region. It was just eyeball to eyeball confrontation, you know, eyeball to eyeball confrontation. And in this situation of eyeball to eyeball confrontation, you know, so there was a question ki how to deal with this. So Russian ships were nearing the region, American ships were taking the position, and whole the world was keeping their hand on their heart, कि what will happen if a nuclear war will escalate in Atlantic Ocean, what will happen to Atlantic Ocean. So it was just, we can say कि American and Russian belligerents just put the whole world on hold and at risk. But thanks, the good sense prevailed on Khrushchev and Russia, कि when the ship was just touching the point, in the meantime, USSR ordered his ship to take a U-turn, and Russian ships took a U-turn. And you will be surprised to know that at that time, American Foreign Secretary, he was watching the whole episode through his camera, the military camera, you know. So when the ship was taking the U-turn, then he took a sigh of relief, कि thanks God, a tragedy has been averted. Do you know, जब one journalist asked him, it was an eyeball to eyeball confrontation, what did he reply? You will be surprised to know, but it is not us, it is Russians who blinked. मतलब उसे पूछा कि भाई ये तो आईबॉल टू आईबॉल कन्फ्रंटेशन था, उसने कहा कि लेकिन मैंने पलक नहीं झपकाई, रशियंस ने पलक झपकाई। ये बताइए, रशियंस ने एक रेस्पॉन्सिबल काम किया। अब जैसे अभी यूक्रेन पर इन्वेड किया था व्लादिमीर पुतिन, अब अगर जो बाइडेन भी उतना ही अगर टफ अप्रोच लेता तो हो सकता था न्यूक्लियर वॉर एस्केलेट कर जाता। तो मैं तो मानता हूं कि अभी के सिचुएशन में हाँ, जो बाइडेन की गलती यह है कि उसने यूक्रेन को क्यों खराद पर चढ़ा दिया। जब जानता था कि रशिया इतना रिएक्ट करेगा तो पहले ही उसको डिक्लेयर नहीं करना चाहिए था कि हम उसको ईईसी में ले रहे हैं, नाटो में ले रहे हैं, तो स्लो डाउन होना चाहिए था। तो उसने यूक्रेन को इस सिचुएशन में ला दिया। दैट वाज रियली पैथेटिक। नहीं तो इसमें उसकी कोई गलती नहीं। तो खैर, एनीवे माय पॉइंट इज, सो वंस द रशियन शिप रिटर्न, then Khrushchev wrote a letter to John F. Kennedy, and in this letter he put his side. You have told कि Cuba is your backyard. Likewise, Turkey is my backyard. Turkey is the backyard of Russia. And you have been offended whenever we have installed there some nuclear weapons, and you have already installed Jupiter missile in Turkey. How far is it justified? You are so sensitive to your own security and so harsh and so rude to our security, so insensitive towards us. So if you will withdraw the Jupiter missiles from Turkey, first condition, and second condition, you will give us the promise you will never invade Cuba in future. You will withdraw the intermediate range nuclear missiles from Cuba. John F. Kennedy replied, so far as the question of withdrawing of Jupiter missile is concerned, here I have to inform you that these missiles did not belong to us. But these missiles are not exclusively our missiles. These missiles are associated with the whole NATO. So I am not having the sole right to withdraw the missile. It will be the decision of the NATO partners. So here I am helpless. But in case of the second one promise, I am giving the promise, or America, USA is giving the promise कि USA will never invade on Cuba. इसीलिए तुम देखते हो कि फिडेल कास्ट्रो इतना इसके नहीं रहा, लेकिन फिडेल कास्ट्रो and Cuba was never invaded. It was due to this promise, Then Russia withdrew its missile, although Fidel Castro was at that time offended. But my friends, after this Cuba missile crisis, one thing became clear: any time, any confusion could result into a full-scale nuclear war, and that will be quite devastating. क्योंकि अगर न्यूक्लियर वॉर छिड़ जाएगा तो बहुत डिवास्टेटिंग है. अभी देखो रशिया यूक्रेन में भी लोग कितना वरीड है कि पता नहीं, बार बार रशिया के मूवमेंट से या रशिया कभी इस तरह का हिंट देने की कोशिश करता है. तो अंत में फिर यही डिसाइड हुआ कि ठीक है, नाउ इट हैज ऑलमोस्ट बिकेम क्लियर कि जो क्यूबा है वो कि जो ये घटना हुई, मतलब पर्टिकुलरली इस टेंशंस के बाद इट वाज डिसाइडेड कि नो, अब देयर शुड बी अ डायरेक्ट कम्युनिकेशन लाइन बिटवीन यूएस एंड यूएसएसआर. सो इन 1963 विल कम टू नो कि देयर वाज अ हॉटलाइन एग्रीमेंट बिटवीन यूएसए एंड रशिया. व्हाट इज द हॉटलाइन एग्रीमेंट? हॉटलाइन एग्रीमेट मीन्स कि डायरेक्ट टेलीफोनिक कनेक्शन बिटवीन द टू, कि इफ देयर इज द any moment of tension, one can dial another directly and can talk on the issue, so tension might be diffused. So that's why this treaty was done. So in this way you can say. And second, France was upset. Charles de Gaulle was naturally having an anti-American stance. Charles de Gaulle, Charles de Gaulle was so upset after this incident. He told that USA has put whole the Europe and world to hostage. What is this? And Charles de Gaulle put a question mark to the behavior of USA, and he inquired from John F. Kennedy कि you have decided, you have taken such a tough decision, such a dangerous decision to launch a nuclear war with Soviet Russia. Have you consulted with NATO partners? मतलब उसका ये कहना था कि भाई आपने यूरोप में मिसाइल लगा रखे हैं, रशिया के यूरोप में मिसाइल, आपके पास 2 बटन सिस्टम है. 2 बटन सिस्टम का मतलब एक बटन यूएसए में which can push the, you can say, missile, and second button the host country. And suppose the war could have escalated, you have started from America to Europe, and Russia in retaliation could have you can say made a nuclear attack on us, so we could have been killed without any repentation. आप तो हद कर रहे हो, हम लोग मर जाते और पता भी नहीं चलता कि भाई हम लोगों की गलती क्या है. तो उसने कहा कि now we are going to separate our nuclear policy from American policy and NATO policy, और अपना वो nuclear policy अलग कर लिया. तो this was the consequence. Cuba missile crisis is clear. Please inform Mr. Ankur. प्लीज माय स्टूडेंट्स इन्फॉर्म.
Yes.
ओके. अब नाउ माय स्टूडेंट, वन थिंग, आज ही मैं फिनिश करने वाला था इस टॉपिक को, लेकिन थोड़ा सा हाफ एन आवर का काम बच गया है, नॉन अलाइनमेंट एंड यूएनओ. तो माय स्टूडेंट्स, आई हैव टू टॉक टू वन थिंग इन बोथ द लैंग्वेज आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग यू. जैसे हमारा सिलेबस तो हो गया, क्वेश्चन इससे आगे नहीं पूछेगा, लेकिन मेरा कहीं ना कहीं एम्बिशन रहा है कि यू पीपल हैव टू बी ए थिंकिंग क्रिएचर. तो मैंने एक मैटर बनाया हुआ है जो 2020 तक जाता है, हमने पैंडेमिक से पहले तक. तो उसमें वर्ल्ड कैसे चेंज होकर यहां तक आया, आई थिंक 25 पेजेज 27 पेजेज होगा, हमारे सिलेबस का पार्ट नहीं होगा, बट आपके लिए यूजफुल हो सकता है कि आपके जीएस के बाकी पार्ट में जैसे इंटरनेशनल रिलेशन है, इंटरनेशनल इकोनॉमी, इफ यू पीपल हैव टू. लेकिन उसमें मेरा एक रिक्वेस्ट ये है कि उस मैटर को आप खुद भी पढ़ोगे तो आप काफी समझदार हो गए हो, आपको समझ में आ जाएगा. क्योंकि मुझे कहोगे तो 25-27 पेजेज है, तो एडिशनल वर्क हो जाएगा. और प्लस आप लोगों के क्लास में दोनों मीडियम का प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है, हिंदी इंग्लिश, तो दैट विल बी टू मच टाइम टेकिंग, यू नो. तो मैं नेक्स्ट क्लास में आता हूं, अगर आप कहेंगे तो मैं सैटरडे को यानी टुमारो आई विल सेंड यू दैट मटेरियल, बट दैट विल नॉट द पार्ट ऑफ योर सिलेबस. बी क्लियर. एंड दैट इज द एडिशनल मटेरियल, दैट इज ए लग्जरी फॉर यू. आप उसको आराम से और प्यार से पढ़ना, कोई दबाव में नहीं. जैसे ये सब तो प्रेशर है ना, जो तुम्हारा सिलेबस का पार्ट है, दैट इज नॉट द पार्ट ऑफ योर सिलेबस. उसमें आपको सब कुछ मिल जाएगा. आपको यूरोजोन क्राइसिस मिल जाएगा, आइल्स क्राइसिस, इन्वायरमेंटल क्राइसिस, हाउ द वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री चेंज, न्यू लिबरल इकोनॉमी, ग्लोबलाइजेशन, एवरीथिंग आई हैव डील्ड विथ. तो उसमें ज्यादा से ज्यादा ये होगा कि अगर आप कहोगे कुछ चीजें पढ़ने के बाद, तो मैं आता हूं तो हाफ एन आवर मैं उस दिन क्लास लूंगा. और मैं मंडे का क्लास थोड़ा लंबा भी ले सकता हूं, क्योंकि उस दिन हिंदी का क्लास मैंने नहीं रखा है. इफ यू पीपुल विलिंग कि थोड़ा सा कोई पार्ट उसमें समझना है या कुछ क्वेश्चनिंग करनी है, तो आई विल हेल्प यू और मैं उसको आपको रिप्लाई कर दूंगा. लेकिन उसके लिए तो आपको फिर सैटरडे संडे को पढ़ के रखना होगा, तभी आप मंडे को
हिंदी है.
नहीं, मंडे को हिंदी क्यों रहेगा?
वो नया बैच का इंट्रोडक्शन
ट्यूसडे को है.
मैसेज तो मुझे मंडे को पता है.
मंडे को? लेकिन उस दिन तो मुझे आई हैव टॉक टू हिम, दैट हैज बीन डेफर्ड टू ट्यूसडे. एनी हाउ माय स्टूडेंट्स, you please you people have to give the opinion, then I will do.
ये लोग यस
क्या करना है, भेजना है. तो माय स्टूडेंट्स, मैं 25 या 27 पेज आई एम नॉट रिकॉलिंग, दैट विल योर कैपिटल. उसको आप अलग रखना है इस मैटर से. दैट विल बी कॉन्टेम्पररी वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री, एंड कॉन्टेम्पररी वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री इंटरनेशनल इकोनॉमी, इंटरनेशनल रिलेशन, सबका नॉलेज तुम्हें अच्छे से दे देगा. वो बहुत जेम है, कोई एक बुक में वैसा मिल नहीं सकता आपको. तो उसको आप ले लेना, हमारी तरफ से गिफ्ट है आप लोगों के लिए. और आप लोगों की समझदारी भी ऐसी होनी चाहिए. तो आप लोग आओगे, चलो कोई बात नहीं, मंडे को आते हैं, जैसा होगा वैसा फिर हम लोग देख लेंगे. अगर हमारे पास टाइम ज्यादा रहा तो ज्यादा ले लेंगे, नहीं तो कम, जैसा भी होगा. उसमें कोई भी स्पेसिफिक चीज आपको अगर प्रॉब्लम होगा, एक बार आप उलट के देख लेना, तो यू विल जस्ट इवेल्युएट इट. प्लीज गिव मी द ओपिनियन, देन आई विल डू दैट.
यस उनके तरफ से.
ओके, यस. तो टुमारो आई विल जस्ट give you the study material, possibly 12 o'clock, है ना. and I'll send you the message. please आप लोग कल ही डाउनलोड करोगे उसको, और संडे तक थोड़ा सा कोशिश करोगे जितना, ये संडे आप उसी को दे दोगे, है ना. ओके, थैंक यू वेरी मच, आई विल सी यू.